Hey everybody, what's up? It's me. It's Pete. I am back with part 3 of my Tyranny Let's Play. So, where we left off is we finished the tutorial. It was exhilarating, exciting. It was a great time for everybody. I've got 2 hours into the game so far, and I've barely done anything. But this is a slow playthrough, and I'm taking my time. So, where I last left off is that I was about to talk to Aurora over here. So, we're going to take both our characters and go to have a chat. Fatebinder, Aurora salutes as you approach. We are honored by your presence. Need something? So we could ask a few questions. We'll probably ask most of them. What is happening in Vendrian's Well? The Oathbreakers hold the citadel at the heart of the valley, the one built around the base of the spire. Aurora points east, toward the tower in the distance. The Mittani River has been our largest headache during the siege. It's unsafe for armored troops to ford, save for at key locations, and the enemy knows this as well as we do. I know we'd be a lot farther along if the Scarlet Chorus used its alleged strength in numbers to ford the river themselves and overwhelm the enemy. Aurora looks at Verse with a disapproving air. As it is, we must take the valley slowly and advance the Disfavored bulwark, since that's where the real work gets done. Verse says, because all it takes is numbers to cross a river under a hail of arrows. If the Disfavored were quicker to act, maybe the Vendrian Guard wouldn't be so trained up to face us. So I can... Aurora is correct, is one of my choices. The slow advance will win out. I have 30 lore, so I can use the option. If either of you was correct, the campaign would be over, and I wouldn't be here. Or Verse has a point. There's been a lack of cooperation here. I'm going to agree with Verse, since she's more important to me than Aurora. And I think the Disfavored probably are causing problems. I've gained wrath with Disfavored and loyalty with Verse. On both sides, I assure you, and we get nowhere by bickering over the failings of past battles. Okay. How long have you been with the Disfavored? 7 years, she pauses to count on her fingers. 2 seasons, mayhaps a handful of days, right? I trained at Fort Resolution a bit before the conquest. Compared to the commanders you find around camp or stationed at Iron Hearth, that makes me one of the young bloods. This has been a long and grueling campaign, but the end is in sight. We'll soon have the Oathbreakers back under control. Then we can rest, retrain, and even cycle out troops so we can see our families again. What can you tell me about the Vendrian Guard? They are the last gasp of the Younger Realms, which is the kind of group of territories we're trying to take. Among them are warriors that escaped the Bastard City siege, a few refugees from other victories, and a bunch of Vendrian locals with delusions of independence. These southern wastrels cannot match our iron, nor the chorus's numbers. What on Terratus gave them the nerve to rise up and ask for a second helping of battle is anyone's guess. Seen anything interesting during the war? I once saw a forge-bound artisan set himself on fire. Occupational hazard. That was an unpleasant day. The first of many, to be honest. What are the forge-bound? Forge-bound are mage-smiths, sworn to Kairos' service. Though their operations in the tiers are overseen by Tunon and his court of Fatebinders, each forge-bound uses magic as a tool to augment their personal craft. Most commonly smelting and metalworking, but carpenters, tailors, and tanners are found in the ranks. And each mage strives to create that which is impossible with mundane hands. Most notably, the forge-bound are the sole masters of ironworking in the known world, using spells of fire resistance to wade into the forge fires. The forge-bound can work iron at temperatures no other forge can match, and with a hands-on touch that no mundane smith could hope to achieve. Because of this vital skill, the Forgebound are considered a strategic war asset, their lives regimented and controlled so that the forges may churn out iron arms and armor without debate, delay, or distraction. So it seems like, so far, the cogs of this entire world just kind of work on war, and strictly war. I wasn't there to watch you proclaim the Edict of Storms, but I saw the devastation hit Stalwart and take up several cohorts of Disfavored with it. She squeezes her eyes shut and shakes her head. Carry on. She taps her gauntlet to her breastplate and salute. Have a pleasant siege, Fatebinder. Okay, so I guess we could look around here a little bit. What's this? The once pure water of Queen Lycerus's tears has run red with blood since Kairos' forces invaded. What else can we look at? There's an item up here. See, we've got some stars over here, which I believe are things we can look at. This torn banner bears the scratched out icon of the Disfavored. The army's original symbol has been lost to history, and Graven Ashe has never ordered a replacement, preferring the blasted icon over all others. So these are people I can talk to, I guess, the stars. Drastus. There's Drastus. The prisoner says his name is Tarkus Deimos. Drastus lets out a long sigh, tapping his gauntleted finger to his temple. And I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family's been a driving force in the Vendrian Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever's left of the Tarkus clan. Mocking Blaze says, but we must offer the enemy redemption. Well, save for their inbred nobles. Just ask the Queenslayer. The chanter lets out a hearty chuckle through an incomplete set of teeth. But corpses can't serve the chorus. So while mercy always pains me, it is what the voices of Nerat commands. I've gained favor with the Scarlet Chorus for doing nothing. Nice. Mocking Blaze says, your old scouts, the ones assigned to us after the Fatebinder made good on Cairn's heir, have done very well serving the chorus. Besides, Kairos does not wish to rule over an empty wasteland. We must adopt these tiersmen, else we will have no one to serve us in the coming years. Drastus says, we'd let you take prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return, defecting all over again. I can't let this nonsense strategy continue. Well, I insist the Oathbreaker be taken to the voices of Nerat, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have Fatebinder here to settle the matter for us. The chanter turns to you, and an expectant smile creeping across her face. So what say you? What should become of this prisoner? So I can have him executed? Or we can recruit him. And I'm heavily on the recruit side at this point. Hi, Kilgore. This is the sort of nonsense that got us into this mess we're in now. Oh boy, the kitty. Oh, he's just trying to steal the show. If we keep showing these mongrels mercy, they'll just bite us time and time again. If it will calm your nerves, I assure you this one won't be put on the battlefield. The mage snaps her fingers loudly, gesturing for her gang to listen. Make sure the prisoner is taken straight to the voices of Nerat. Drastus says, I won't keep you here any longer, Fatebinder. I know you have important business in the valley. Drastus salutes you, his iron gauntlet rapping against his breastplate, for the glory of Kairos. Fade to black. That prisoner is gone. We can talk to Cosma. Fatebinder, what an honor to have one of Tunan's court visit our humble holdfast. Need supplies? Bursting with energy, the merchant slams her palm down on top of the crate. If so, you've come to the right place. So what it will be today? She spreads out a welcoming arm over her wares. Sure, I'll ask. Do you have stewardship over these goods? Well, you see, Fatebinder, the merchant cranes her head to the side, scratching her neck. I think so. I've been handed these bits of scripts. She reaches across a stack of provisions to snatch a scroll case. But I'm not a woman of letters. Numbers are my strength, as you can well imagine. Let me see those. Certainly, good Fatebinder. She hands you the scroll case while wearing a quizzical expression. A cursory read indicates this merchant is granted the unlimited right to trade in a logistical capacity. When not supporting an active battle, she has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives anywhere in the tiers. Well, we have a problem. A problem, but how can that be? I paid a span's profit for the stewardship. What sort of problem is there? I could say it was fine. You have the right to trade as part of an active war efforts. Currently, it would seem our armies are unable or unwilling to fight. See the problem? I could do 2 lies. I don't feel like lying, so I'm just gonna say forgive me. You know what? This person's okay. You what? A moment of shock blanches her face before a smile creeps over her. For fuck's sake, I thought I was in serious trouble. She shakes her head, laughing to herself. You've been around the chorus too long. Seems our sense of humor is rubbing off on your sense of justice. How's trade? Well, this is a service posting. No profit up here in the pass. That's Hatchian Bronze's orders. But when we march out of the valley, I'm back on my own schedule. And here's to hoping this year is a good one. The Overlord forbids the extortion of the pathways. Good thing, too. Because in years past, I'd lose most of my profits to tolls. Couldn't turn a copper if I tried to haul long distance. What do you got? Wide variety of stuff. I don't have much money at this point, so probably not going to buy much. You know, I'll get a camping supply. Just one. I'll just take one sad camping supply. Sure. Okay. So, no, not much to trade with yet. So, we can talk to Drastus. Oh, no. We cannot talk to Drastus. It would appear there's an item over here somewhere. There. It's a sky cap. Okay. I might do a cursory inventory glance. Oh, that's locked. And it requires 39 subterfuge, which I would imagine is...
Can't do that.
Oh yeah, my voice. Weapons and armor are stacked with neat precision. A transport cart. Every spear is honed and oiled, ready to take to battle. And there's an item over here somewhere. Okay. We're going to read some of the inventory items we have and see what's useful and not.
Carrying too much.
Oh yeah, we give her some stuff. So some of these are going to be useless, so we might sell some stuff. Yeah, I don't... Well, I'll hold on to that stuff right now. I think, if I have anything that doesn't do anything... So we have a bronze sword, a shield, no use for those yet. A couple of falxes, don't have use for those. Helmets, nothing there. I don't know what that is. Agate. I guess that's just for money, so we could sell that. Iron Brand. We could sell that. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Now we have a Hasty Bangles. I don't know exactly what haste does. Guess can't know quite what it does. Okay, so we'll sell this and this. Got it. I don't remember, God, how do you speed up time? Let's see what you have. We're going to give you this and this. Thank you. Because movement speed is, like, speeding up movement helps with kind of the speed of the game. Oh, I got another tutorial. Stores allow you to trade and sell your items for copper rings and items in your store's inventory. Merchants buy items from you at a greatly reduced price. If you sell something, you may see it. Yep. Okay, there's stores. Okay, so let's head out into the wilderness. Okay, so our next stop is the Disfavored camp. Takes 2 hours and 45 minutes to complete our journey. So, we're on our way. Things are starting. Kilgore's back here, ready for adventure. Seems like we got some stuff going on over here with this Crescent Runner. Hail, Fatebinder! The Disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camp's on up ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. Oof, what's his faction? Lethian's Crossing. Okay. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll, but she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I am not allowed to trade one thing for another. It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. I can tell them, you're on disfavored land. These warriors have every right to kill you. You should be more thankful they're even listening to you speak. So that would be like me supporting the police state. The Overlord regulates all trade. If you lack the proper permits, your goods are forfeit. Or I could say this is none of my concern. But I know the Overlord regulates all trade because of that person I talked to in the last town, so I will stick to the Overlord's wishes. A trade permit? Well, how was I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Crescent Runner says, not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Tunon. But we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. I got that option again, that they could kill him. Anything to be argued before Tunon may be argued before me. You had best start making a very strong argument as why I should help you. This is not my concern. Carry on. Let's have them argue. Well, I don't know if I have that jurisdiction, so I'm not going to do that. I'll ask him to make strong arguments. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel, and the warrior pauses, placing her hand in front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. The soldier clears her throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavored matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgments around. Sterling Hagnon says, well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart. Or you could leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing drafts. Certainly any army will need those. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and the aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose. I could say these are essential goods to the war effort, and leave them intact. I could use my subterfuge of 30, and I could lie. Curious, I was just hearing about a supply caravan of regions going missing. Or I could use lore 30. What a coincidence. Your family recipe for wound paste smells just like the Scarlet Fury's own concoction. Where'd you steal this? That's interesting. If the disfavored have reason to question these items, I shall trust their judgment. I think in this case, like, yeah, I've gone pretty far into this, and I could intervene and get him hurt or killed. He's not necessarily hurting anybody. He may have stolen that paste recipe, but I'll leave it up to the Disfavored. Thank you, Fatebinder. I know others of your ilk would gleefully meddle in our affairs at every opportunity. The soldier turns her attention to the merchant. I hereby reclaim these trappings of the Overlord for use by the Disfavored. If you want to live, take 2 steps to your left and don't move a muscle. The peddler shakes his head with a scowl and steps aside as directed, spitting towards his own cart. Hagnon mutters a half-garbled curse before placing his hands up in submission. Sorry, Hagnon. This is all your fault, you Kairos' dog. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. Sure. The voices of Nerat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? I am here to deliver the edict from Kairos. That would be telling the truth. I have nothing to tell you. Why so suspicious? What else has the voices of Nerat told you? Subterfuge 32, did the voices of Nerat ask you to spy on me? Or enough of this, I must meet with the Archons. I feel like this is really prying. And, like, if she has a relationship with the voices, I shouldn't be digging into it. And, like, putting her in the position where the voices of Nerat will hear her telling me. So I think I'll just be honest with her. You've gained loyalty with verse. That makes a crazy kind of sense, verse says. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all will perish. So Ascension Hall is the traditional throne room of the Queen of Apex. The throne stands directly beneath the mountain spire, in the center of the Citadel in the Valley of Vendrian's Well. During Kairos' conquest of the Tiers, you stood in Ascension Hall as Kairos' representative when negotiating the surrender of Apex. You provoked Queen Vendrian... Yeah, okay. I'm the Queen Slayer. Okay. It needs to get there by the Day of Swords, or all will perish, which is the 26th of every month, or span, is Kairos' day. It is a day of holiday and rest for all within the Overlord's empire. Each Kairos' day is the last day of its span and is referred to by the span's name. Kairos' Day of Swords, therefore, is the 26th day of the span of swords. Okay. She's with me on this mission, so I've gained more loyalty with verse. One more thing for the Archons to fight over. Well, thanks for cluing me in. If Kairos sends any lightning our way, just tell me when to duck. I think I am going to ask her now if the voices of Nerat are spying on me, because I gave her very valuable information. I feel like she should maybe let me know at least that. At a loss for words, verse regards you with momentary unease. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business. So is snatching up any information, any advantage over Graven Ashe. These two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The voice is just curious why you're here. If he wanted to know more, you wouldn't be able to suss it out that easily. He would have sent one of his scarier peons in my stead. Okay. I really must be meeting with the Archons. Reputation ability, I gotta see what that is. The War Tent is just past the center of camp. She nods towards the northeast. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. Okay. I've gained enough of a reputation to unlock a new ability. Open the Reputation UI by pressing R to see the new ability available to your character. Most actions have abilities your character can acquire as you build reputation with them. In order to acquire these abilities, you must build enough favor or wrath with the faction. Reputation abilities are only granted to your character, not to other party members. So that one's highlighted. So now I have Death from Above. Verse launches in the air. Okay, so it's this is like a dual ability that we got because Verse. I gain loyalty with Verse, and these are kind of all the things that happened that made her happy with me, which is really cool. Yep. You caught on to Versus subterfuge, Versus pleased by your feisty, chaotic inclinations. Cool. Okay. Stealth toggle, select all party members, formations. I don't know if those formations are going to matter when you have two party members. Okay, we have to present ourselves to these people. I think we should first at least search the area. That requires some subterfuge. I'm imagining this is all just extra space. A humble grave lies before you. A battered sword has been used as a marker.
A modest grave for the Archon's son, Brennix.
Yep.
We don't bother with funeral rites in the chorus. No point in thanking conscripts for their duty.
Okay, so that was a grave. Okay, let's get in here. Well, look at you. Our gate crasher from the court is still in one piece. The guard pounds his chest plate in salute. Welcome to Disfavored camp. Always happy to have an honored ally pay us a visit. So the gate crasher was a conquest decision. What did I do? Which one was that? Oh, I fought in the battle as a gate crasher. Yes, I did. Salute, Graven Ashe protects. I don't recognize you. No reason for you to remember me. I was 2 flies over, 1 rank behind. The Longbeards in the Legion were so mad at having to, in their words, babysit Tunan's novice. But you fought well. Not as well as us, but certainly better than those dumb pukes in the chorus. Go on in, the soldier gestures towards the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of camp. Cool. Oh, we can get some items. Ooh, some stone shield armor. See if that's any good. Yes, that is much better than my current armor. Now, is this better than her armor? No. Cool. And some new armor. Pentabor, what's up? Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and let me see if anything interests you. So I'm none of these things. So I don't have any of those options. How did you come to work with the Disfavored? Hard work and good suppliers. When Tunan's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hands on hips. If Kairos' wisdom In Kairos' wisdom, my record must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manners of goods. Most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. I don't need to see your wares right now. I'm too broke. Travel well, and I'll be here should you need to trade again. I thought they'd give me like some money, you know? Why didn't I'm like their freaking fate binder? They don't give me any money. What the heck? We got a rod of strength. That is super sexy. Isotonus, you look like a blacksmith. Isotonus curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They call it the Disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths in Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the matinee went missing near Echo Call Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunan's responsibility. Why is this the first time hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotonus flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ashe doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian Guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. If I find myself an echo call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the great general. More than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. You can trust me to handle this. I knew that Tunan wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep your eyes out for those. Good hunt. Need something else? No. Thank you all. Get into this box. Grab a fatiguing toxin. Cool. That'll help in combat a little bit. What else we got?
That wasn't so hard.
Potion of elemental barrier and a sigil of lesser strength. Who's a bitter quip? Glory to the voices of Nerat, protecting his salutation for all to hear. The grinning blood tramper raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Basevik, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What's it like working with the Disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title. One. Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitter Quip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see, with my own eyes, the failure of this Disfavored. That will be a fine day. What can you tell me about the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the tiers. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitter Quip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? What are you? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man in the tide of battle. I've held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the Disfavored is not the reward I'd envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds as if you really like the voices of Nerat. Bitterquit blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. Yes, I do. Tell me about the voices of Nerat. He's supreme commander and public servant. He sets us free but directs all. Bitterquip smiles as he talks. I feel like I should have clicked this one first, but it also shouldn't be my job to do that. So, the voices of Nerat is the epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal, and a leader of uncountable numbers. The voices and the chorus are 1. Conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitterquip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bitterquip smiles, lifting an eyebrow. Perhaps you should visit our camp and see it for yourself. Sure I will. Bitterquip nods as you depart. Oh, it's only 16 subterfuge. We can take it all.
Too much. Sorry, I can't.
Okay, it's already been looted, but... I don't think the stone shields are going to offer me too much. You take that.
Can't do that.
Seems like we're headed this way. Come talk to these people first. Lucia. I'm Lucia. This is Marcus. His favorite soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to babies. Marcus says, assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Ooh, like a pit fighter option. Any combat? The two soldiers trade a glance. Question better suited to the Scarlet Chorus camp, if you don't mind the smell. Anyone looking for a fight could find one amongst those braggarts. Cool. Just take care you don't headbutt the wrong gang boss in the heat of battle. There are some who wouldn't hesitate to cut your face off, agent of Tunon or not. I can ask them for training. Tell me about yourself, Marcus. Not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven's Ashe protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. You are just bitter that Lord Ashe never seems to notice you, says Marcus. These two, boy, they are a bickering sword. Lucia says, I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield, and I do this. She mockingly stabs at the ear with her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in the camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the Phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. Seems to be handy with a weapon, Lucia. Disfavored favor 1 allows me to say, or makes her say, if you ever want some pointers on how to use that weapon of yours, just let me know, she winks. said Lucy. Marcus says, Lucy, are you flirting with Tunon's Fatebinder? Relax, Marcus. There are plenty of camp slaves if I ever need to scratch an itch. That's new information. Disfavored have sex with their slaves. We know this now. Though the visitors of her helm... Oh, sorry, buddy. Now I got a kitty under my desk who I stepped on. Through the visors of her helm, you notice Lucia's eyes roving up and down your body. If you ever need someone to warm your bedroll, let me know. I sleep in my armor. Hope you don't mind. But that's not sexy. You know, like regardless of any, maybe people have armor. Do you sleep with people while they're in armor? Do you like having sex with people in armor? Marcus, how's everything gone with the fighting? Disfavored Favor 1 allows him to say every battle is a reminder of the Legion's superiority. The Oathbreakers have plenty of heart, but nothing to beat our northern values and Graven Ashe's love. If you ever want to enjoy that feeling, I can spare the time of day to cross iron. What's it like serving with the Disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Terrace. Unlike the Chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the Younger Realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable of Kairos' hosts, even if we're not always the most efficient. Yeah, if the Legion boasts so much... I don't have enough reputation to figure out why they're called Disfavored. I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the great general's history to outsiders. Lucia says, but you'll say that it involves the great general, which is already a telling clue, idiot. Drat, at least the Iron Marshal isn't within earshot, or I'd be washing my mouth out with wormwood. How would training work? So I could get like one-handed or two-handed weapon training. She could get parry training. Sure. Okay. What about you? What can you train in? Train me in athletics. And dodging. Thank you. I'm still level 1, man. That's a bummer. I still don't have much money, so I don't want to overdo my training and all that junk.
Interesting.
Oop. Hidden object. Oh, cool. You've discovered a hidden object. Many areas of Terratus have hidden traps or chests. When discovered, these objects will highlight for all of your party to see. Enable scouting mode by pressing L. Alt to make finding these hidden objects easier. What is this? Lesser healing, 2 lesser healing potions, and a topaz. What was this? This was Isotonus. Okay, talk to him. Oh, we got one last item, and then we are going to go into the tent for one of the first bits of main storytelling, I believe. Here we are. Yesterday you chided me for perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come with a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with you yesterday you. Today you should be happy. We know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why not wait for your reinforcements? I don't need your heckling, I need your scouting reports. Or better yet, confirmation you quelled the Oathbreakers in the Outer Valley. All of that, we will solve it in our own time and way. We must do at least token effort to show them mercy after all. Mercy? They have already shat upon our mercy once more, these Glutterborn death. Oh, calm down now. We must leave something a rule, or have you forgotten Kairos' order? Patience, old chum. Okay.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Ooh, you hear the voices in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I'm gonna let them
I
talk.
always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
The Archon of Secrets twirls his scepter in a twisting loop, his leather-wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow. You hear the voices in your head. Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough, if we have your attention. Sure.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ashe's Folly in your honor.
The voices of Nerat tosses his scepter into the air, catching it as it descends back down. I hope it was like a baton toss, not like a chuck, chuck, chuck. You hear the voices in your head. Good, good. Now pay attention. You might miss something.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ashe, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Siren, we learned earlier, is the Archon of Song, as it reiterates there. The Archon flips his scepter 3 times around, humming gleefully. You hear the voices in your head. Take care that you don't learn too much, Fatebinder. An excess of knowledge, of curiosity even, can earn unwanted attention. Hold your tongue. I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. This is Iron Marshal Aranyos. The commander's hand moves to the hilt of her blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head. The fifth eye speaks up. The Scarlet Chorus. They bicker like children, do they not? The fifth eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the crimson spear. I meant only to say welcome. Welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armored retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to salute, and not a moment too soon. I've gained favor with everybody. Cool. The Queenslayer. Sensing your presence, the disfavored commander snaps into a firm salute. No doubt your presence here will strike despair into the hearts of our enemy. Lord Ashe, Lord Nerat, our guest is here. I could bow to the Archons. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here. I could glare silently, or I could act as a diplomat, but I cannot, because I'm not a diplomat. I'll bow out of ceremony.
Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late
I've
once more.
both gained and lost.
Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us.
The disfavored cut a bloody swath through the realm of Stalwart by 4:30. What happened? Right. Oh, yeah. Well, I called that storm. Yeah, sure. I initiated the first edict.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glances at the voices of Nerat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I require no thanks for doing my sworn duty. I come bearing an edict of Kairos, or are you all done victory? I have an edict to proclaim. I will just say, I come bearing.
For the second time, Brother Tunon selects you for the glory of proclamation. You should be honored. Tell us, what has the Overlord decided to unleash upon the Oathbreakers?
I can say, the Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish, which is the truth. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos' edict will end the lives of anyone in the valley unless... So it's all the truth, it's just how I am presenting it. I will say it seems you need some encouragement to work together. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. Its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens, and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. Pretty cool.
Means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Matani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. You hear the voices in your head. Watch him skirm so many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see blood echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd use the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage, because that's how a real man deals with grief. I could insult the Archon of Secrets. I could say learn to work together. We're all doomed. Claim they're both daft, and blame them for needing the edict. I could say they're both wasting valuable time. I'm going to tell them they have to work together.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
I could say, then there's enough talk, there's work to be done. I'd say our lives hang in the balance because you two bicker like children. Now go solve the problem you've started. Could say, no more sitting idle. I expect the Disfavored to be on the march at once. Or I could say, voices of Nerat, I trust you are done acting the clown and will have your horde ready to march with all haste. I'm just going to say there's work to be done. My lord, Barrack and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. Fifth Eye says, and I will ensure the chorus stands ready to the march. If the Disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Thus, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the Fifth Eye on the shoulder, and the two depart. You hear the voices in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us. Did I miss his clues or something?
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment. But I will never understand why the voices of Nerat is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunan favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. Queenslayer, I would ask that you join us in battle, if only for the satisfaction of your presence enraging the enemy. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
Iron Marshal Irenaeus says, I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. What of the Scarlet Chorus?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
Iron Marshal Irenaeus says, the Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Mittani. I'm going to stare blankly. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ashe and Grave, then turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. No, I am loath to mention it. The chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out if you must. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models splayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, turns back to his contemplation. The first time you proclaimed an edict, You gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready themselves. I chalk it up to excessive mercy for a backwards people. But when the edict is against your kin, that order you must follow to the letter. That's interesting. So since I gave the people in the prior time the ability to escape, the kind of normal people, the Vendrine guard, he's upset with me that I'm not giving our people as much time. I'll remain silent. Be gone from my tent. I tire of this endless distractions. Just gonna steal your shit. Just gonna steal your shit. I guess I'm not like stealing, it's just I can't. I don't know. Okay, we're at an hour. So once this loading screen, as long as there's not a cut screen, I'm going to end this Let's Play for now. And yeah, that's kind of part of the Disfavored camp. I'm not sure how much longer we'll spend here. And yeah, you're getting a really heavy CRPG taste. All the dialogue you could possibly dream of. So I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, you can check out the rest of the videos whenever you want. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.